The city never truly slept, but for those on the streets, the night brought a deeper silence, a colder, lonelier kind of hush. Under the flickering light of an old street lamp near the edge of an abandoned warehouse, sat a man with eyes too old for his weathered face. His name was Elijah Brooks, once a construction worker, now just another forgotten face in a busy world that moved too fast to notice the slow decay of a human soul. Elijah wrapped his tattered coat tighter around his thin frame, sheltering himself against the bitter chill of a November night. His spot was familiar, just a few blocks from the 7th Street overpass, close enough to civilization to beg for change, far enough to be ignored. He wasn't always like this. Once, he had a life, steady work, a small house, and a laugh that filled rooms. But a workplace injury and the death of his wife within months of each other had sent him spiraling. With medical bills piling high and no family left to turn to, Elijah slipped through the cracks. Society didn't catch him. It didn't even notice he'd fallen. That night, as the wind howled between the alleyways, Elijah was gathering scraps of cardboard for a makeshift bed when he heard the distinct crunch of tires on gravel. It was late, too late for anyone decent to be out alone. He peered into the darkness and saw headlights flicker against a distant building. Then came the unmistakable sound of a car door slamming. He waited. Moments later, hurried footsteps approached. A figure stumbled into view, a woman in her late 20s, dressed in business attire, clearly out of place. Her heels clicked erratically on the pavement, and her breath fogged in short, panicked bursts. "Ma'am?" Elijah called out cautiously. She jumped, clutching her purse. "Sorry to scare you," he added, raising his hands. "You lost?" She hesitated, fear evident in her wide eyes. But something about Elijah. Perhaps the calm in his voice or the sorrow etched in his face, made her stay. "My car broke down," she explained, pointing vaguely toward the road. "Phone's dead. I've been walking for miles, no cabs, no people." Elijah nodded slowly. "You shouldn't be out here alone. It's not safe." She swallowed hard, suddenly aware of just how vulnerable she was. "I don't have much," he said, gesturing to his sparse belongings, "but you can wait by my fire. It's warm. Better than nothing." It was a risk. She knew that. But so was walking blind into the night. And somehow, this stranger, the man everyone else ignored, felt like the safest person in the world. She followed him back to his small camp, where a coffee can filled with burning wood offered faint warmth. Elijah handed her an extra blanket, torn but clean. "I'm Elijah," he said gently. "Rachel," she replied, her voice cracking slightly. They sat in silence for a while. Rachel didn't ask questions. Neither did he. She was grateful for the warmth. He was grateful for the company. Eventually, she drifted into a shallow sleep, cradled by the fire's glow. Elijah stayed awake, watching, keeping guard against the night. By morning, a patrol car rolled by. Elijah flagged it down and explained Rachel's situation. The officer helped jumpstart her car a few blocks away. Before she left, Rachel turned to Elijah. "Thank you," she said, her eyes misty. "You didn't have to help me. But you did." He smiled, exposing missing teeth. "We all need help sometimes." She offered him money, but he gently refused. "Just, stay safe, ma'am." Rachel drove away, glancing back through the rearview mirror until Elijah was just a blur. The next day was colder. Elijah was back in his spot, sipping lukewarm coffee from a kind store clerk. Same routine. Same invisibility. Then, it happened. A sleek, black Mercedes pulled up beside the curb. The window rolled down, and a familiar voice called out. "Elijah?" He squinted. Rachel stepped out, no longer wearing her business suit. She was dressed in jeans and a heavy coat, holding a steaming cup of coffee and a bag of food. "I couldn't stop thinking about you," she said. He blinked. I'm flattered, but why? You saved me. No one knew where I was. If not for you. She handed him the food. This is just the beginning. Come with me. I want to help. Elijah hesitated. He had grown used to disappointment. But something in her eyes, hope, sincerity, made him stand. She drove him to a motel, paid for a week's stay, and handed him clean clothes. Over the next few days, she returned daily, sometimes with food, sometimes with job listings, sometimes just to talk. Turns out, Rachel was no ordinary woman. She was the founder of a non-profit that helped displaced women find safe housing. Her own mother had been homeless once. That night, alone and afraid, she remembered every story her mother had told her, about how kindness from strangers saved her life. Elijah, she said one day, you were that stranger for me. Now it's my turn. Elijah got a fresh haircut, saw a doctor, and with Rachel's help, found work at a community center. His limp still bothered him, but his spirit? Stronger than ever. The story made headlines, From Street to Salvation, how one man's kindness changed 2 lives, but Elijah didn't care for the attention. What mattered to him was something deeper. One night, months later, Elijah stood beneath the same street lamp where it all began. A man shuffled by, coatless and cold. You all right? Elijah asked. The man nodded numbly, but Elijah saw the truth. He took off his jacket and handed it over. Sit with me, he said. There's still warmth in the world. Let me show you.